All right, a pause in the action on the Eric Zane Show podcast to talk about Factor. Okay, there was a time not that long ago where I would spend a lot of time on, let's say, a Sunday, like hours, getting food ready for the week, prepping so that I could have something ready to go in a nice, convenient container. Problem with that is I'd spend a whole Sunday doing it. It was expensive. And frankly, I was eating the same food all the time. So it's easy to figure that after a couple of weeks, I kind of gave up on that. Now, I remember all the time thinking it would be great if I could have food delivered to me. I don't have to lift a finger to make it, and it's prepared by chefs, and it's fantastic and so convenient and so delicious and fresh, never frozen. Voila! Factor. Look, I know you love supporting me. That's one of the key things that makes a podcast survive is when you support who's doing the show. I want you to just try this, and you are going to be so happy. Go to factormeals.com/Zane50. That's Zane50. And then use code Zane50, and you're getting this for 50% off. That's how badly I want you to try this, just so you can see how easy and convenient and awesome Factor is. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Oh, and I'll include the link in the show notes of this podcast. This November, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. You are eating amazing food. You're eating well. It's so fantastic. Again, factormeals.com/Zane50 and use code Zane50 to get 50% off. That's code Zane50 at factormeals.com/Zane50 to get 50% off. Hello. How's it going? Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact, the Impact Power Sports Studio. So glad you are here. If you are just listening to audio, I look like I'm part of the Detroit Lions street team. Got the Lions hoodie, the black one with the blue letters, and the Lions hat. The blue winter hat. Some would call it a toboggan, which I've never understood that, but yeah, I don't, I'll get to that later. This is just by chance that I'm wearing. I don't wake up and say, yeah, I'm going to go and support. I mean, I have, but it's not today. Today's not the day when I wake up and say, yeah, the team won. I'm going to represent. I never do that. Very rarely. Once in a while, I might go, all right, here we go. But I find that when I do that, it just, I don't know. I'll get to that in a bit. Our beloved Darla is not with us for this show. The dog is acting out. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that my daughter came home from college and she's staying with us. You know, she's kind of like in that weird phase where she's, out of the house, but not really. Well, she's back for Christmas break. And Darla knows it. So Darla constantly wants to be around the new shiny thing, my daughter. Oh, I've never met you before. I want to spend every minute with you. And if I'm not around you, I'm going to freak out and lose my mind. So we get in here for the normal day, and the dog just starts going bananas, screaming and yelling and crying and it's like, we can't have that. We need a solid day where there's no ridiculous interruption, where we're focused and I don't have to get up and put her in the crate. So I just put her in I did it preemptively. Okay. I which is remarkable for me. That's something that I don't do. Plan ahead. What? So that's what's up. She's butthurt. And, she's probably going to be even more so because the Mexicans are going to be here in just a few short minutes. Now, I don't know how many actual Mexicans are going to be in the home as E-Rock is checking in. That's always fantastic. Hello to Eric Nagel. I don't know how many are actually Mexican. The guy who runs the heating and cooling business is Joe Martinez. And he's a Mexican. But I don't know how many people in his crew are Mexican. And I know that he's got his son-in-law who helps him with the business, named David, who is like a Chinese Russian or something like that. No. It's not far from that. Chinese Italian. I think he's a Chinese Italian guy. Like his mom or dad, one of his parents is Chinese, the other one's an Italian. Very interesting family. They go to the hockey games, and it's like one of these things is not like the other. You got a bunch of lily white West Michigan assholes. And then this whole family is, you got the Mexicans, you got the Chinese Italians, Joe Martinez's daughter is a Mexican. She married the Chinese Italian, and they had two girls that are Chinese Italian Mexican. Which, by the way, wonderful, beautiful family. They just look so much better than all of the disgusting Dutch white bastards that live where I live. Iraq says you have the full United Nations going. I'm not kidding you. When I'm where I sit for the hockey games in between the penalty boxes, they stand out like Mike Tyson trying to read. Directly across from me, just filling up the row of 5-6 people. I'm like, look at that bunch. Tyler says my 3 favorite types of food: Chinese, Italian, and Mexican. Well, anyway, they're installing the new furnace today, which, the last thing you want when it comes to all this, first of all, the thing started making noise, the old one. The old one is that's original to the home. It's like 17, 18 years old. And it started making this god-awful noise. So I recorded it. And he said, oh, yeah, that's and he said some term. He goes, that thing's going. That needs to be replaced. I'm telling you, it's going to set you back $500-$600. Okay, great. And then he goes, I was completely wrong on that. For that model, it's like $1,400, $1,500. I go, oh, my God. He goes, just get a new furnace. I go, all right, I'll get a new furnace. So that's happening. Just in time for Christmas, just in time for spending. Oh, my God. All right, but that happens. Whatever. Who gives a shit? It's just money. E-Rock says, I just replaced my entire furnace last week, plus my water heater a month ago. It was over $17,000. Oh, no. Fuck. Dude, I'm sorry. The immortal E-Rock from Compound Media. But I do want to update what we're doing this week. This is the week for the Great Food Giveaway. Great Food Giveaway number 4, where we are feeding 100 families, people who are less fortunate than us. They drive up to Irvine's Auto Repair on Thursday at 3 p.m. We put a box in the trunk of their car, Christmas ham, potatoes, corn, gravy, jar of gravy, a bag of rolls, and a pumpkin pie. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance says, do you have any pets? Yeah, I got 2 dogs and a cat. Here's some pet food. Okay, there you go. And then after that, they head to the Pink Zone. In this assembly line of awesomeness, this assembly line of giving, there's the Pink Zone. And Team Pink will be handing out pads, tampons, or period cups. Amanda has a question. Why is it called the Pink Zone? Blood is red. True. And I didn't call it that. I called it Team Pink because women are going to handle it. You know how like boy is blue, girl is pink? This is definitely Team Pink. Yeah, it wasn't so much about the color of the material that's leaving the woman or the color of the genitals, as it seemed to be, as these people are thinking, Rob and Amanda. It's about women are, I don't want dudes passing out tampons. That's, fucking weird. Can you imagine if you're a dude and say, yeah, hey, you want some tampons? I don't want to make these people uncomfortable. I'm just kind of like thinking ahead for once. So if you're on Team Pink, you're passing out tampons or pads or period cups, which there's got to be a better term for those than period cups. I do have an update for you, though. I went and purchased the food on Friday. Now, initially, remember, we started out with the thought that it was going to be like $4,600 for all that food. And then the hams went on sale, and there was a couple other sale items. And that dollar amount dropped down to, I've been quoting you, $3,083.80. When I got to the cash register, it came out to just north of $2,800. And when I put in my M-Perks, it took even more off. The grand total for all of that food was $2,684.69. Now, this is awesome because all of you, 49 of you at last check, 49 people donated when we passed our virtual hat. And we came up with $5,196.06, two of which were $1,000 donations. So that means 47 of us gave $3,196.06. But I'm just giving you statistics at this point. So 49 of you, $5,196.06, which means for food, $2,684.69. As I mentioned, that was the final cost of the food. The tampons, that leaves us $2,511.37 for tampons or any type of feminine products that may be in need. So that's really great. I mean, that's a lot. We are going to have, when people drive up there, all these people that will be there, all of us volunteers, the food will be stacked up, boxes high. The tampons will be stacked up. The dog food, the pet food will be stacked up. And away we go. The work is done. Thank you to everybody who supported. We appreciate it very much. The big event happens Thursday at 3 p.m. I even got a $5 donation from one person at the end of last week. Thank you very much. I see you. That's what I was talking about. That person's like, hey, I can't afford anything but this. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So we will be going at it on Thursday at 3 p.m. at Irvine's for the great food giveaway with tampons. Number 4. If you would like to be there, just show up. We're going to get there at around 2 p.m. And then by 3 p.m., we'll start giving the food away. Maybe even before that. Sometimes people line up and we're like, we don't have to make them wait. We're ready to go. So, and spread the word so that enough people are there. I really hope that we aren't left waiting around for people to show up. But we're hoping and praying that it'll all work out quickly. Everybody will get the food, and then boom, we're done. And then that will be it for yet another year. Afterwards, we're all going out to eat. We are going to Beltline Bar again, and it's going to be awesome. Excited about it. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's it. So a nice little bow on our package, our proverbial package. Lots of package talk going on today. But all right. And by the way, if there is someone who does want to make a last minute donation, by all means. So I'm going to include that in the show notes as usual. And in the chat right now, if you want to throw a buck, 2, 5 at us, whatever it may be, as we speak. There you go. If not, no big deal. All right. I had planned on, I talked about this last week. I said, when it comes to the Lions with 4 games left, I kind of freaked out, and it was like, I'm convinced that they're going to finish the year horribly and not win another game. All right. Now, that did not happen. They beat the shit out of Denver on Saturday night. But I went into this with the idea that I don't even want to watch. I just can't take the feeling that it's slipping away. It's unpleasant for me. And I'm kind of a baby. I want them to win so badly that I'm like, fuck it. I can't. It's a mental thing. It really is. And it's weird because they've won 9 games going into Saturday's game and lost 4. They're in first place in the division, and they've performed fantastic at times. But recently, they've performed like shit and somehow managed to win several of those games. But they most recently lost. So I was like, fucking A, this is terrible. You had the ugly loss on Thanksgiving. You had the ugly loss against the Bears. And I'm like, Jesus. But I guess I don't have the right stuff to be like true blue Lion fan, because I was like, I'm not even going to watch. And it turns out that the game was on the NFL Network. So I was like, well, even if I am able to watch, or I decide that I'm going to, I can't because I don't have the NFL Network. But Diana was watching my daughter Jackie's dog at their place, and she goes, "Come on over and see Cece." That's the dog. So I drive all the way over there. I walk in. I'm there 1 minute. She goes, "Oh, they have the NFL Network here. Put it on." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." Now I didn't want to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to watch it. Or I didn't like put it on and then go into a different part of their house. I just put it on. And, well, they kind of beat the shit out of Denver. Murdered them. Like 42-17. Beat the shit out of Denver. So this is fucked up. Because now there's 3 games remaining. They're 10-4. And if they win this coming weekend, they win the division. They're in the playoffs, and they win the division. And they're taking on a Vikings team that is using, I'm not kidding you, their 4th-string quarterback. They started the year with Kirk Cousins. He got hurt. They went with the rookie. He sucked. They brought in Josh Dobbs from Arizona. He's one of those guys who's got that disease. One of those people that has that disease where he has no hair. What's it called? It's alopecia. And so, which, by the way, he has alopecia, and Will Smith's wife, they say she has it too, but she's got stubble on her head. So I don't know. Maybe she's just started getting it or something. I have no idea. Josh Dobbs was pretty good, and then he started to become shitty. So then they brought in some other guy I've never heard of. Lions should be able to win, but you never take anything for granted with them. The Lions are notorious for they'll be going up against a player who, like a quarterback who's no one's ever heard of, and that guy will have like an amazing game. That's the old Matt Flynn scenario. Years ago, the Lions took on the Packers with a backup quarterback for the Packers by the name of Matt Flynn. And, like, the guy was terrible leading up to that game. And then in the Matt Flynn game, the guy threw for like 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. and secured in the offseason a giant contract because of one game, never to be heard from again. He sucked from that day forward. So there you go. Lions still in really good shape. And if they win, if they keep winning, I don't even, it's so surreal to me. Jada Pinkett Smith looks like alien xenomorph. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it, E-Rock. Blue State Rob says alopecia is great if you hate pubes. If Seattle loses or ties tonight, the Lions will clinch a playoff spot. Chris says alien xenomorph is the alien from Alien. Oh, the film? She does? I don't know. I've never seen the alien xenomorph movie. I saw the other Alien movies. She doesn't look anything like that. What the fuck are you talking about? I'll take your word for it. All right. So welcome to today's show. So glad you were here. This show, as I indicated, is brought to you by Impact Power Sports. That's where the studio is, right here, Impact Power Sports Studio. And if you're watching on Facebook, X, or YouTube, I'm going to send you on your way. Thank you so much for being here. But if you want the audio podcast, get it wherever you download shows. Sign up on Twitch if you want the full show. Just download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, and then you are in business. Or go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want to catch the rest of the show. No problem. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I'm undecided if we're going to be doing shows this week. I think we are. I think it's business as usual this week. I think leading up to Christmas, I think you got to have a normal week. So that's the plan. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I just posted not only the Insane Asylum and the Lost Zane recordings, but Who Are These Zanes, which was unbelievably fun to hear Eric from spring of 1998. And I also posted the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, where our very own Jimmy in Portland, Maine, says that he is thinking about suing Jody Messina. You got to hear that craziness. That's all on Patreon for free. 7 days. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you to the folks watching on Facebook, X, and YouTube. All right. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. I'm on Instagram, Eric Zane Show on Instagram. Follow me on all those platforms, please. The open and live stream of today's show. Thank you to King's Room Barbershop, where I am due. I had no idea that I need to get my hair cut more than, I used to go like 4 months. You know, you get it cut once, and then you just let it grow out like crazy. He goes, no, you idiot. You got to keep it looking high and tight, dumbass. Come see me every 10 days. 10 days? Holy shit. King's Room Barbershop, online at kingsroom.net. 3 locations, Caledonia. Also, Northland Drive and 821 36th Street in Wyoming, Michigan. Online at kingsroom.net for King's Room Barbershop. Haircut's about $19 plus tip. Get to a King's Room near you. Full schedules, exact locations, everything else available on their website, kingsroom.net. I heard from Frank Fuss this weekend. He said, man, your audience is really awesome. Thank you so much for doing what you do. I was like, well, I'm glad to do it. Thank you for doing what you do, believing in me to help spread the word about you as the #1 insurance agent, independent insurance agent / broker. Let's talk life insurance. The immortal Matt Kuipers. His wife just gave birth to triplets. He now has 5 kids. He needs to be worried about like diapers and matching menstrual cycles down the road. He's got a bunch of girls. He's got at least one boy, though. My point in all this is you got a family. If, in the unlikely event that something catastrophic happens to mom or dad, the last thing you want to be worried about is money. So spend a little dough each month and get a life insurance policy to secure that in the event that something terrible happens. Probably won't, but still, get life insurance. Frank's going to help you with that. Reach out to Frank Fuss. His website is buyinsurancehere.com, B-U-Y, insurancehere.com. Not only life insurance, he can help you with Medicare, Social Security if one of your loved ones is utilizing those. Not to mention your own insurance policy for healthcare if you utilize healthcare.gov, Obamacare. Frank can help you every step of the way. It doesn't matter what part of the country you are in, he can help you. If you are in West Michigan and you want to buy some type of toy like a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, electric bike, pull a trailer, that's not really a toy, but you know what I mean, golf cart, Impact Power Sports in Rockford, Michigan, Michigan's newest Yamaha golf cart dealer. Head over to Impact Power Sports in Rockford, Michigan. Their website is impactpowersportsmi.com for more information. Over the weekend, I started watching a World War II documentary, multi-part on Netflix. It just came out. It's like one of the top 10 things watched on Netflix. If you were to open up Netflix, it'll open up. It'll show you what it is. I don't know what the fuck it's called. World War II, and it's something World War II. Really good. All original footage, restored, colorized. Looks great. Gives you like an overview of how shit went down from the beginning of the Third Reich to Hitler's attempt to when he invaded Poland, and then he invaded France and tried to invade England, and then invading Russia, and then invading Northern Africa. That's where I'm at right now. And then the Japanese get in and fucking attack Pearl Harbor, sink 5 battleships, and then the U.S. is in the war. That's where I'm at right now. I'm in episode number 2. Talking about the extermination of the Jews and all of this put in motion by Hitler, at least in the European theaters, for his desire to cleanse the nation. And what's crazy is while I was watching that, they were playing a clip of Hitler, and he said something in this clip that had to do with because there was a lot of experiments Hitler did with people. Like when he invaded Poland, there were people that were that he would he had like a guide that the doctors, his crazy doctors, would look at the eyes of some of the people in Poland, and if they had blue eyes and blonde hair, they were allowed to live, but they then were brainwashed and quote unquote Germanized. But other than that, they were poisoning the blood. So he would make like fake German kids, as long as they looked German, Aryan. Otherwise, they were killed. And he was actually a quote about about them poisoning our blood. Well, it fucking comes to pass that Trump over the weekend actually said that the Mexicans are poisoning our blood coming into the country. He said this, I think, at a rally in New Hampshire. Uh-oh. This is proof positive because no one did anything. No one gives a shit that he even said it. Proof positive he can say or do anything and nobody gives a shit.
Tonight,
It opens up with Lee Greenwood singing Proud to Be an American.
Tonight, former President Donald Trump rallying his supporters in the early voting state of Nevada. It comes a day after he made these controversial comments about immigrants at a rally in Durham, New Hampshire.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
Oh, no. That is something Adolf Hitler has said, well, remarkably similar. They're poisoning our blood.
Biden campaign accusing Trump of parroting Adolf Hitler, as similar wording was used in his writings. And at least one of Trump's
Mein Kampf is where that was lifted, is where he said it. That was his fucking book about killing Jews or whatever the fuck it was.
Trump's GOP rivals blasted him for the remark.
He's disgusting. And what he's doing is dog whistling to Americans who feel absolutely under stress and strain from the economy.
Trump is
That's what I've talked about many times in this show. It isn't so much Trump, well, at least it wasn't. Maybe with that comment it is that I'm concerned about. It's the people that follow him. They're crazy. But after that comment, I think, Jesus Christ, what a fucking thing to say.
Promising the largest deportation program in the nation's history if reelected in 2024, and requiring immigrants pass a strong ideological screening. Trump also touted his relationship with North Korea.
Look at all these dumb idiots that are behind him.
Kim Jong-un, calling him, quote, very nice, and referencing Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Let me back up.
Trump also touted his relationship with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, calling him, quote, very nice, and referencing Russian President Vladimir Putin.
But even Vladimir Putin, has anybody ever heard of Vladimir Putin? Of Russia says that Biden's, and this is a quote, politically motivated persecution of his political rival is very good for Russia because it shows the rottenness of the American political system.
In new polling from CBS News out of New Hampshire,
my God,
Nikki Haley climbing to a strong second position following the endorsement of the state's governor. But this is Trump this weekend, attracting the New England masses.
Donald Trump loves our country. He loves us.
We need a new birth of freedom.
A stark contrast to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
They just show this massive crowd that Trump has, and then you see DeSantis, at the fucking conference room at the Ramada Inn.
As he struggles to gain traction in the state. Vaughn Hilliard, NBC News.
Oh, shit. They're poisoning our blood? Are you kidding me? Oh, no. What the fuck? Erock says the DeSantis room looks like the room Jeb Bush said, quote, please clap. Blue State Rob says he doesn't love you, dumb bitch. He's preying on you. Joe Martinez says, told you the guy is an asshole. Yeah. Why you always got to be like, hey, I'm right. We all knew that. We all knew he was an asshole. It wasn't, we're not looking to you for the guidance to determine that Trump is an asshole. I know that. He's a fucking psychopath. Aram says all politicians laugh behind closed doors at how stupid we are. Chris says, I can't believe these are our choices. Look, all right, Biden may be completely overwhelmed and not capable of leading because he's sick. He's still better than fucking a goddamn dictator. They're poisoning our blood. Jesus Christ. Fucking ridiculous. I was reminded when I was watching that story, I don't know, it just popped into my head, completely off the subject. The war going on in Gaza. How would you like to be these three hostages? These three grown men were abducted on October 7th by Hamas. These Israelis. 2 or 3 grown men, and they were, hadn't seen their loved ones in forever, and they're holding out hope that the good guys are going to show up and rescue them. While it's all going down, they see the chance to make their break. And they take off. And they see the Israeli forces are coming to rescue them, and they're so fucking happy. They have signs made that they hang up on the building, written in Hebrew, "Please help." And then another sign says SOS. And they made the signs. This is absolutely just happened. And by taking food that they had and smearing SOS and whatever message they could onto the sign. And then they said, hey, let's take off our shirts to show that we don't have any explosives on our bodies. They take off their shirts. They're waving a white flag next to a sign that says, "Please help." 3 Israeli dudes. And the Israeli military sees them and shoots them dead. What the fuck? Okay, now, if you're Hamas, you're like, these motherfuckers are so serious. We have so fucked up. They're now even shooting their own people indiscriminately, even though they don't have shirts on. They're yelling, "Please help us." And it's fucking crazy. And Israel said, yeah, that happened. That did happen. We don't know how it happened, but it happened. My God. That makes the fucking Pat Tillman incident look like Sesame Street. Holy shit. The fact of the matter is that the families of these three are like, God damn it, they finally got out. Holy shit, they're going to make it. Oh, no, my God. Oh, fuck me. What an absolute catastrophe. Awful. Awful. Ryan says being a hostage would totally suck. That's an understatement. All right. Matthew Perry. Everyone is, I've only heard one person suggest this. And I don't know why everybody's taking it easy on this lying son of a bitch drug addict. But he lied to every single one of you. If you're all fans of Matthew Perry, okay, he's been a goddamn liar forever. And that's what us drug addicts / drunks do. We manipulate everybody. And we lie. Okay? Maybe Amanda hasn't heard the word yet, but he was fucking on ketamine, like a lot of it. The type of ketamine you take when you're like popping pills. There is such a thing as ketamine infusion therapy to help with any type of mental disorder, and you go to a clinic and they put you on a drip, and then you kind of like are flooded with, he described it in his memoir as being hit with a happy shovel. And then he said, but it's too much, and ketamine is not for me. Now, Matthew Perry, drug addict his whole life. If Matthew Perry is saying, hey, I'm clean and sober, this isn't for me, everybody bought it because that's what we do. We want people like Matthew Perry to turn the corner and be clean. But he was far from it. And the manipulation, the gaslighting all takes place in the book when he says, I'm just here to help people. I've made it. I'm sober. I'm clean. And now the rest of my life, I'm just going to help everybody. That motherfucker got in the hot tub and put a lethal dose of ketamine into his body. His heart rate starts beating crazily. It creates what's known as a disassociation. You feel like you're not in your body. It's incredibly powerful and will make you unconscious while he's in the goddamn hot tub. Ugh. And then he slips under, gone. And everybody's like, oh my God, he crazy, just died. And then, what's that fucker's name? Kevin Brennan said, how did he drown in a hot tub? How did he drown in a hot tub? He could have just stood up. And everybody, oh my God, you can't make fun of Matthew Perry. Fuck you. This fucking idiot. And so today on the Today Show, it was Savannah. She said, so she mentioned something about falling off the wagon. And I was like, well, that's the first person I've heard mention that. Now, on our show here, Amanda is like the biggest Matthew Perry fan. This has to be crushing for her to know that he lied to everybody about all of this. Maybe we can bring her in here and she can...
Hello.
Amanda, it's Eric Zane from the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Why do you listen to your people? I didn't think you needed to call me.
I'm sorry?
I didn't think you needed to call me.
Oh, so what? It's not up to you to decide. I think that's an Eric decision.
Fair enough. What's up?
So, what do you think about Matthew Perry? I mean, this is fucking horrible news. You have to feel terrible.
Well, he had a disease, like I said in the comment that I just put in there 2 seconds before you called me.
Well, being that I'm an alcoholic myself, I've always struggled with disease because I always hate that usage of the word, because a disease to me implies that you mean with I can't choose to not have cancer. Cancer's a disease to me.
Mm-hmm. So, and it goes and it comes and it goes, just like obesity is a disease. It comes and it goes. You have to fight it.
Well, anyway, it's got to be soul crushing that he's a liar and told us all that he was clean and sober.
When he was writing the book, he probably was.
So he's definitely off of the wagon, and he died because of drug abuse.
Well, the thing is that ketamine can be prescribed as well.
Oh, I know.
So I didn't read the full report, so I just saw that it said ketamine, which I'm not very familiar with anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, I assumed what you said happened. He got in the tub. He had something in him that made his heart just explode, and he went unconscious and drowned.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get into it a little bit further. I just wondering what you had heard about all of this.
Well, it's exactly what I assumed happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was partying every Saturday night and snorting up and shit like that.
Well, no, there was only there was nothing like that in his system.
Yeah.
But the everybody seems to be dancing around the elephant in the room about, was he sober? And no, he wasn't sober at all.
I don't think he ever. I'd have to go, because I'm not following the story, stalking or whatever. But I don't know if he actually ever said in an interview where he's promoting the book that he currently was sober.
Well, no, he did. And he talked about how he wanted to help people through his sobriety. And he also said that ketamine was not for him. Quote, ketamine's not for me.
Correct. An enormous dosage of it. If he took it on his own rather than prescribed or whatever. All right. I know. We're going to go back and forth on it. And it's mostly because, I'm trying to, fight my demons and come to terms with the fact that I have a disease and I need to fix it. I need to fight it.
All right. You're the best. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
There you go. That's Amanda. Let's see. Matthew Perry, like most addicts, was like a priest pledging celibacy and trying to pray away the jizz. Hurricane Ashley checks in with, I've never disagreed with anything more. I'm referring to some of the language that we just spoke of. Chris says, which part? She says, not a disease. It's a choice. Obesity doesn't come and go. Correct. And that's what I was trying to get at. But I didn't want to go too far down in that rabbit hole. When it is a choice, I am choosing to put the food in. It may be uncomfortable to actually put the food in or put the drug in, but you can overpower it. You can override it. At least that's my opinion. But I'm not a doctor. Maureen says, fatty here too. Agree, it's a choice. Blue State Rob says, obesity. People are just addicted to illegal things, sugar and fat. Blue State Rob says, former fatty and future fatty here. Obesity, the first sign of mental illness. A mental illness that causes physical illness. Amanda chimes back in. You can overpower that yet. Yes, but your body is used to a certain weight. And if you stop giving it certain things, it's going to fight you and want to go back to that weight. Right. And I just struggle with the term, a disease. You know, I can't argue with my body that I have cancer. But Matthew Perry, make no mistake, he's a goddamn liar. He fucked with all of your brains. With all of his, I'm better, I'm sober. He was anything but sober. Died because of a large dose of ketamine, according to an autopsy report, leading to unconsciousness, the drowning. He also had coronary artery disease and effects of buprenorphine. I can't even say it, which was a medication used to treat opioid use disorder. Still ruled as accidental. Ketamine, when they give that to you, like in a hospital setting, you are so out of it, and they can work on you, do procedures, operations with ketamine. And it originally was like a horse tranquilizer. It has some hallucinogenic effects. It distorts. Why can't I talk or read today? It distorts the perception of sight and sound and makes the user feel disconnected and not in control, and can induce a state of sedation, make you immobile, relief from pain, and amnesia. It sounds fantastic. The autopsy states that Perry, who was reportedly clean for 19 months, he's never been clean, come on now, was on ketamine infusion therapy, with his latest treatment taking place just 1.5 weeks before his death. However, the coroner noted that the ketamine in his system at death could not have been from the infusion therapy, since that ketamine's half-life is 3 to 4 hours or less. So he was taking it on his own. Per the autopsy, Perry's death occurred by, quote, unknown route of drug intake. The coroner stated that Perry was found in a residential pool with prescription medications and loose pills present as at his residence, but none reported near the pool or adjacent to the pool. Goddamn, what a fucking moron. What type of idiot is going to go ahead and get in? I mean, if you're going to take a drug like that can, quote, induce a state of sedation, make you immobile, and make it so that you hallucinate, why would you get in a goddamn hot tub? Lay in the bed. Jesus Christ. What a stupid place to be. This is a Darwin Award type of death. Get in a hot tub. The autopsy also notes there were no signs of fatal trauma or no foul play suspected. Quote, at the high levels of ketamine found in his blood, the main lethal effects would be from cardiovascular overstimulation, heart starts beating rapidly, and respiratory depression, breathing less. Drowning contributes due to the likelihood of submersion into the pool as he lapsed into unconsciousness. So he just slipped into the pool or the hot tub when he lost consciousness. What a fucking idiot. Prior to his death, Perry was long vocal about his struggle with addiction. In his book, he recounted his journey to sobriety and the pride of staying clean. Quote, I wanted to share when I was safe from going into the dark side again, he told People at the time for a 2022 cover story. Quote, I had to wait until I was pretty safely sober and away from the active, quote unquote, disease of alcoholism and addiction to write it all down. I was pretty certain that it would help people if I did. Yeah, you asshole. You fucked with people because, there are people who probably read your book and you inspired them. And then it was all a lie. And now they're like, what? What the fuck? You could lead them to doing something terrible now. I mean, if you're going to go ahead, I don't give a shit if you continue to take drugs. But don't write a book about how great you're doing, you fucking idiot. And then you die in the stupidest way possible. What a piece of shit. That's why you can't, get pissed when people, when Kevin Brennan made fun of this fucking asshole right after. Everybody was, pissed off at him. And then I think he even said, I laugh when junkies die or some shit. I forgot the exact quote. He was. It's exactly what he was. God damn it. So anyway, that closed the book on that. This guy was a fucking idiot. E-Rock says, I like you doing the Paul Harvey voice to read the story. Is that right? Kenny says, in all seriousness, even though that guy made that joke after the fact, Kevin Brennan, Matthew Perry probably thought he'd be okay because it was just a hot tub and really could just stand up if he had any issues, but probably didn't expect to not be able to stand up. So true. So true. Well, who's going to take a fucking victory lap today will be Kevin Brennan. Hurricane Ashley says dopamine chasing is a motherfucker. So, yeah, if I understand that right, that's like the those feel-good chemicals in your brain, and then you do whatever you can to get those just flooding your system. Google dopamine eating or things that give you dopamine, source of all addictions. I don't know if I want to know those things. I think the second that I find out about that and I start chasing dopamine, I know for me, a big dopamine release is when I look and there's more than 30 people enjoying the live show of this podcast. That's a big dopamine boost for me. Aram says, I think the American Medical Association has a definition of disease. I believe it has to do with the progressive nature of the affliction. An alcoholic over time has a worse reaction to alcohol regardless of drinking during that time or sober. You know what? Maybe, but I can't do it. Either I'm going to drink or I'm not going to drink. If it is a disease, it's totally curable by decision. I decided I wasn't going to drink anymore. Thus, I am cured of alcoholism. Which doesn't sound right. The math doesn't work out. Amanda says they're working on trying to redo the vocabulary when it comes to weight gain, especially for bariatric patients. Instead of calling it regain, they are calling it weight reoccurrence or recurrence. Kind of like if you were cancer-free at one time and then you had a cancer recurrence. There you go. Ashley says, with all due respect, that's absolute hogwash. Amanda says, no, you will still be an alcoholic. You will still be an alcoholic for the rest of your life, Eric. It's a disease. Arab says it is treatable, not curable. Well, I mean, I still call myself an alcoholic because that kind of like checks me mentally. For me. But I guess at the end of the day, whatever the fuck you want to say, as long as you're healthy. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think what Aram is saying is there is no cure for alcoholism. What he means by that is like, I can't go back to drinking. You know what I mean? Like, a person who is not an alcoholic can drink. We cannot. And that's why we are still alcoholics. Like I'm constantly in recovery. That's what this is. I'm never better enough that I can go back to drinking is what he's suggesting. The cravings can decrease over time, but you're still kind of there. So I'm kind of like half pregnant here on this issue. You know what I mean? You can't really, it's not one size fits all is what I'm getting at. But to my bigger point, that has nothing to do with what I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on is the fact that Matthew Perry is a goddamn manipulator. I know he's dead, but he was a manipulator. This is all bullshit. What he put everybody through, what he wrote about in his memoir, he's a goddamn liar. He did not die sober. He accidentally killed himself because of his drug use. Amanda says we can have this discussion on Thursday at the Great Food Giveaway. No, that's a terrible discussion. Blue State Rob says Matthew Perry, asshole of the day, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the asshole of the day. But everybody on TV is like, oh, wow, yeah, he had a large amount of ketamine in his system. And there's been only one person to suggest that he fell off of the wagon. One. And that was Savannah Guthrie. But even then, no one's going to go out and indict the guy. I mean, except on this show. Maybe on Kevin Brennan's show. I know I would if I was Kevin Brennan. I'm not sad when junkies die. Holy shit. Okay, I have to go tinkle. Stay right there. I will be right back. Hurricane Ashley writes, I'm excited for Thursday. Great food giveaway. By the way, I got 2 more donations. One nice person sent $40 and another nice person sent $20 in so that, dollar amount keeps growing. Thank you so much. Chris says, I'm going to contemplate that while eating the fudge brownies someone brought into work for Christmas. Blue State Rob says, didn't Zaniac bobblehead sender John Pulaski and Jennison make the music for the show before he went MAGA crazy? He did. Maureen says, can't wait. Hope the weather cooperates this year. No snow. I think it's going to be okay. Hurricane Ashley says, ugh, hey, I want to do snow angels. Fuck you. I love you. I want to do snow angels in that perfectly striped parking lot. Oh, my God. Fuck off. Where's the dog? I could give the dog a bath. Oh, shit. I'm drunk. Then Blue State Rob says, accused bobblehead sender. I don't know who sent the fucking bobblehead. It might have been John and Jennison. It might have been Pellerito. Pellerito was absolutely a suspect, though. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. That's where the great food giveaway is going to be. That's where you need to go to get your vehicles repaired. 616-532-6600. All makes and models. Well, the only thing they won't work on is the Volkswagen. You got a hybrid, you got an EV. 616-532-6600. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. As I speak right now, the United Nations of HVAC Repair are downstairs putting the new furnace in for the Eric Zane Show podcast household. If you need anything done, reach out to Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. That's 616-516-8579 if you are in West Michigan. The furnace tune-up for free is still good till the end of the month. Okay? Schedule at 616-516-8579. He comes in, tunes up your furnace. Normally that's $79. He's got a deal with the gas company where it's free. Thank you to Joe. That is a fantastic deal. Sports news. Taylor Swift was at the Chiefs game. I forget who the fuck they were playing. Doesn't matter. They won. But her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, was like pass interference, you know? And they have a camera on her at all times. And they said that she dropped an F-bomb here. Yeah, that was a hard what the fuck. I'm telling you, she has an enormous mouth. Her mouth opens way wide. Huge mouth. Fuck! She's so pissed. Fuck! The other chick's like, oh my God, oh shit, I got my mom jeans on. Holy fuck. Who cares about the Chiefs? I hope to God they don't win. Something has happened. I was like actually almost a fan of them. I could never be a fan like I am a Lions fan. But ever since all the commercials that these idiots have done and now all this shit, I'm like, fuck those guys. Oh, they were taking on the Patriots. That's right. Iraq says her jaw unhinges like a python. Absolutely. Gigantic mouth. Ryan says her mouth is disgusting. Ever since you first pointed that out, it's all I see is mouth. Chris from Buffalo grabs the low-hanging fruit with probably gives great blowjobs. I have some highlights, sports story from the basketball game between North Dakota and the Christian college that nobody remembers. Remember I talked to you, I don't know if I talked to you about this on the Ben and Eric show or if it was on the Patreon, but you have North Dakota State, who's the actual college team, normal college team, taking on the local Christian school. The tallest dude on the local Christian school is 6'4". And they kind of tried to subdue the highlights from it, but they have found the highlights of this game. You will not believe how bad this team is. I mean, there are teams full of people with Down syndrome who are better than this team. The team that's shitty is in the red. Look at the way that guy shot the ball.
Coffee.
Holy shit.
Cheney. One of those guys.
Okay, now this play in particular, this is their big guy. Some of you know how basketball, you can't travel. You can pivot your foot if you're standing in one place. Watch how he just kind of stands around and turns his feet. All these steps.
Very good. Falling for Oak Hill, but an offensive rebound.
Oak Hill Christian Academy.
Coffee triggers what he can do. Morgan's just strong enough to go up and over the top.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess you're probably getting to where there's some finals going on.
The announcers are just talking about anything at this point. They don't give a shit about anything going on in this game. They're talking about final exam.
He's pleased. Baseline as the shot clock away from Burke by Bryson.
Watch this.
Keepers.
Oh no.
And 50-point mark.
That bounce pass. Did you see him telegraph that fucking thing? I can't believe the pass got through the traffic.
As the shot clock away from Burke by Bryson Keepers. And 50-point mark. More than 4 minutes to go.
Oh shit.
He throws one up.
The final score 108-14.
And as everybody could hear, crowd was incredibly impressed early in the first half as well. There's a catch and shoot Jake Cava in the Fargo Forum where he said there are no pickup football.
What a crock of shit. I cannot believe how bad that team is. God damn. Impressive. Chris from Buffalo says, shit, is this me out there? Blue State Rob says, I thought this was a WNBA game at first. You can't say that. The WNBA is excellent. My God. So there you go. That is the highlights, the unearthed highlights of that game. One more sports story. A guy for the New York Rangers got hit in the mouth with a puck. And then after he gets hit in the mouth with the puck, he's like, oh, shit. I got a damn tooth in my mouth. He spits the tooth out. Now, that already is fucking crazy. Because, I mean, a lot of times when that tooth comes out of a hockey player, you can pick it up and put it back in your mouth. So I don't know if he was just getting rid of it, never for it to be seen again or what. It's not clear. But he did spit out the tooth. The problem is it was not a tooth. The dude for the Rangers, his name is Barclay Goudreau. Contrary to what observers thought they saw, it wasn't teeth that came flying out of Barclay Goudreau's mouth and onto the ice in Ottawa last week. I don't know, Goudreau said with a still swollen upper lip following the Rangers' morning skate Tuesday at Madison Square Garden. The quote, that was part of my mouth that should have been inside my mouth. Now, that is an understatement. The puck that did the damage came screaming off teammate Condre Miller's stick and smashed the 30-year-old forward in the face. The jarring injury that Goudreau described as fluky resulted in a variety of medical issues that caused him to miss the following game Saturday in Washington. It seems the puck hit his face, broke the bone. The bone was then the shard of bone came through his cheek, and now the piece of jawbone is in his mouth, and he spit out the bone. That's what it was. Jesus. My God, what a bizarre, crazy-ass injury. And they stitched him up, and they put him in one of those face shields, and he's good to go. He was out for a day or two. The pain was excruciating. The wound required more stitches than Goudreau could count, but the worst part may be the lingering effects. He says, the next thing I knew, it felt like my mouth was in a million pieces. Doctors told him he'd be restricted to liquid food for a month. Broke his jaw. I'm just trying to figure out how to get protein and everything I need in a different form other than solids. Despite the limited diet, Goudreau, who will be sporting a full face shield for the foreseeable future, mustered the energy to return and finish that game. All right. No one's ever questioning the toughness of hockey players. Only hockey, where you can have a puck hit you in the face, just break your jaw, the bone flies through your inner mouth and is now in you're like chewing on it like a goddamn lozenge, and you go spit out bone chunk, get stitched up, and finish the game. Yeah, we'll deal with it after the game. My God. And all of that could have been avoided had they just played with some type of shit in front of their face. I just don't understand them. You know, you see a lot of the hockey players now are wearing these neck guards, which I had been talking about for more than a decade. Because I keep hearing about, I actually know a guy who had a bad injury. His whole face got sliced by a blade. Matt Ford is his name. And nope, we're not going to wear a neck guard. And now finally somebody actually dies. The one dude died from blood loss. And they finally said, okay, we will wear neck guards. I just don't get it. Kenny says hockey players are just made different. Who knew it was Lego, though? I can't stop picturing that Lego jaw now. Kevin Kuipers brings up Mitch Callahan, of course. Tyler says, basically, the bone popped out of the cheek. Yeah, wear a cage, you dumbasses. Chris says those neck guards aren't even that intrusive. You know what they wear now? They wear a shirt, which is almost like a mock turtleneck, which comes up. And it's like, that's not enough. You got to have a thing Velcroed all the way around the neck for it to work. That's what my son used to have to wear. Kenny says, that would have made more sense with my first comment, which was you can just pick up a tooth and put it back in your mouth. What? Like it's a Lego piece or something? Ha ha. Oh, yeah, that's true. They'll, if you lose a tooth, they can put it back in the socket. And if it's, within a certain time frame, sew it back in and good as new. Exactly like a Lego. And it's tailor-made to fit. Hurricane Ashley, as you know, her boyfriend is Tim from Shoreliners, former AHL ref, former hockey player, says he'd never wear a face mask. Yeah, and I can't wait to be able to see him face to face and ask him try to reason with him about that. It's like, why? Why not? Give me a good reason. Oh, you can't see, eh? No, yeah, you can. You can see. You can see fine. Oh, I mean, I don't want to look like a goof out there, eh? I want to look like a man. I'm a man, eh? I don't need a face shield, eh? I'm a hockey player. No doubt about it. Yeah, you're from Michigan. Why do you sound like you're from Quebec? Oh, hey, I don't hear it, eh? Oh, hey, I was overserved at the bar, eh? You fucking dummy. Yesterday, or the other day at the hockey game, one of the refs comes walking up to me. In between periods, I'll walk off the ice. And he says to me, he goes, hey, we were talking about you last night, eh? He was out to eat. This ref, I forget his fucking name. He's a little fella. This little fella ref skates up to me. Hey, we were talking about you, eh? I was with the Hurricane. He refers to Ashley as the fucking Hurricane. Hey, Zaner. It's one of Tim's ref buddies that he oversees, and he's kind of like a fucking ref, I don't know, executive or some shit. And they all sound the same, all these refs. They all talk the same. They're all like, they have this fake Canadian accent. Rebecca says, is he a Youper? No, worse. They're all fake Canadians. All these refs are Americans, but they sound like they're from Ottawa. Yeah, it's gruesome. You don't want to know those people. It's one thing to be associated with a Canadian, but it's an entirely different thing when you have someone who's actually speaking Canadian and they're not even Canadian. Oh, hey, Zaner. And everything is like excitable. Hey, Tim, how are you? Oh, hey, Zaner. Oh, hey, how's it going? Doing well, buddy. Oh, hey, so Ash and I went out to eat with another ref, eh? Ashley says he called me the Hurricane. Yes, he did. He actually did. He goes, oh, the Hurricane, eh? Yeah, I know her. Ashley says he met me for 1 second. This nickname has legs. Oh, yeah. And let's be honest here. That nickname was given to you because of your destructive nature, like a hurricane. You're the only person I know who can show up at a charity event to raise money for the local animal shelter. All it is a car show. You pass the hat. Everybody throws $1 or $2 in. You give it to the local humane, the Harbor Humane, and then people pet the dog. Maybe they adopt the dog. Then they go home. That's it. There's 3 dogs there. All of a sudden, there's 2 dogs there. Tim comes up to me and goes, oh, hey, Zaner. Yeah. Oh, you seen Ash? No, I haven't. Oh, she disappeared, eh? I don't know where she went. Okay. Yeah, I mean, keep your eyes peeled, Zaner. No doubt about it. She's got to be nearby, eh? Okay. No problem. I'll be on the lookout. Oh, here she comes, eh? No doubt about it. Cancel the APB on the Hurricane, eh? Okay. No problem. Thanks. Hey, why is this dog soaking wet, eh? She picked up the fucking puppy because, oh my God, this dog smells. I think this dog needs a bath. Drags it into the kitchen, into the bathroom of Irvine's Auto Repair and gives the dog a bath with fucking hand soap. I did it a favor. I mean, because of me, the fucking dog's got to get adopted. Stop helping people. Chris says the tornado had nothing on the hurricane. No way. Destroyer of laptops. Also, enemy of laptops. Yes, these are all historic things that Ashley has to give her these nicknames. Laptop destroyer. Hurricane Ashley. Legendary. Blue State Rob says Hurricane Ashley is an alpha's alpha. Oh, let me check with the boss, eh? All right. I remember not long ago, a few years ago maybe, there was a story about some guy who's a politician, forgot what part of the U.S. he was in, where he's driving down the road, he's shit-faced, he hits a pedestrian. The guy flies up, his head goes through the windshield, and then he's dead. The guy keeps going. Like the next day, the guy who hit the dude, the politician, pulls up and says, hey, what's going on here? Yeah, someone ran into a guy here. He's dead. Holy shit. Hey, why is there a bloody pair of glasses in your front seat? And why is your windshield busted or some shit? I don't know. They ended up finding out it was the guy. He ended up hitting the dude. And, the guy came through the windshield and then he was drunk. So he fucking drove away and it was all a fucking catastrophe. That still might be going on. Well, this has happened again, but it's even worse. Thank you to Kenny for sending this story along. Some dude, he wasn't a politician, just a nobody. A guy in Texas is driving along, and he was all fucked up, and he hit a pedestrian and killed him. And then, if that isn't bonkers enough, the dead guy was in the passenger seat of the car, and the guy was so fucked up, he drove almost 40 miles to like a Chick-fil-A to get food. And he orders the food. No, it was a Jack in the Box. This is near Texas, some place called, believe it or not, the place is called White Settlement. White Settlement, Texas. Which, how the fuck is there a place called White Settlement? Wasn't there a politician, Rick Perry, who had like a, he called his retreat N-word head? Remember that one? True story also. What the fuck? Yeah, this actually happened. Texas man in custody after hitting a pedestrian. Body flies through the windshield and is right next to him. He drives 38 miles of Jack in the Box with dead guy next to him. The White Settlement Police Department said it received a welfare check call on Saturday night. Hey, I think you got to go to the Jack in the Box. There's a dude with a dead dude next to him in the passenger seat, and the windshield's busted out. Cops showed up. That's what they found. Dead guy in the front seat. The driver is 31-year-old Nestor Joel Luan Flores. Here he is. That's the guy. When emergency crews arrived on the scene, they determined that the guy next to him was dead. Police said Flores told authorities he believed he struck an animal in Dallas and continued to drive until he reached the parking lot, 38 miles, where he was detained. Despite saying he thought he hit an animal, Flores never called the cops or emergency responders to the incident. An alert was sent to police agencies throughout the area to find out if any of the departments had received a report of a hit and run. None. My God. Human remains were also found near the roadway, which matched the victim's body. So it was like that fucking game where you flip the cards to get a match. Hey, there's an ear over here. Well, hold it up. Yeah, it's the same. He's missing an ear. That's a match. My God. Detectives say the impact was so severe the victim's body was thrown through the windshield and came to rest on the passenger seat. He remains in custody on a pending charge of intoxicated manslaughter, according to cops. Son of a bitch. Okay, this is why every time I see this, it drives me crazy. If you're taking a walk on a street, you walk towards the traffic. If you're on a bike, you ride with the traffic. But if you're walking or running, you go towards the traffic. The headlight, you have to see them coming at you. If you're walking on the right side of the road with your back to traffic, it's a huge mistake. You always want to see, because in the event that somebody's coming, it gives you a puncher's chance to jump out of the way. I don't know if for sure the guy was walking with traffic, but I would venture to guess that whoever this is that's now dead was walking with traffic. You definitely don't want to do that. God damn, what an absolute catastrophe. Kenny says exactly. Pedestrians and people on bikes are always on the wrong side, it seems. Drives me nuts. Blue State Rob describes the guy as a real-life Mr. Potato Head. Kenny writes, new movie in the works, Weekend Drive at Bernie's, driving with a dead dude. I think Chris might have spoiled the story, but oh well. That happens. I don't even care anymore. It's just going to happen. Unless I see it unless I'm actually saying the words when someone actually does it, I'm like, it's too much energy to waste. You know? Tyler says that city might as well be called No Blacks Allowed City. White Settlement, Texas. Jesus. What the hell? All right. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. This great team is excited because the interest rates are starting to fall. It won't be long until that happens. Every few months, drop another 0.5 percentage point or 1 percentage point, and we get back down to low interest loans. They did all that to slow people's spending, and it worked. They know what they're doing. This is why your old pal EZ trusts the government. 231-332-6505. Call today. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. Don't forget about the Grand Rapids Gold. They are in action right after the new year. You can check out a game by going to grandrapidsgold.com. $2 beers, $2 dogs. So much fun. Hang out with me. Low ticket prices, $12. You can get a ticket for $12. That's great. grandrapidsgold.com for information. All right. Rick from TC Paintball invites you to come see him. I have a paintball event just over 1 month away, January 21. I want to see you there. TCPaintballGR.com. That's their website. Fully stocked pro shop. Gather up your friends, gather up the family, and get after a paintball adventure at TC Paintball, online at TCPaintballGR.com. Okay. Believe it or not, I am short of things to talk about today. So we are going to do the asshole of the day, and we're going to call it a day for the free podcast. The asshole of the day, on Friday it was me for some reason. I don't remember why. I can't remember shit. Is that idiot drug addict Matthew Perry. this manipulating prick, that is your asshole of the day. That's why you got to wait. You know, you got to wait to see what the hell caused their death. This dumb fuck killed himself, basically. What an asshole. Kevin Brennan vindicated, in my opinion. That's it. That is it. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you on the Patreon. Until next time, have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.